All right, you guys, we're going to move on to Unit 5, Lesson 11, and we're going to start to see what happens when we don't get whole number answers and looking at how division or decimals come into play here. So found it easier to make this onto a Smart Notebook file like my last one, so we'll pull that up. So I'm going to go back to the visuals that we had started with, and I remember us taking these and I said, okay, I want to take 62. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60 in my tens, 2 in my ones. And I want to split it into 5 groups. So here's a group, here's a group. Like I could keep moving these around, but the problem is I have 6 of these. So there's 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups. Oh man, I can't split this or these equally into my groups. Just spinning those for you. So we have to break things up. I have to break this and these into smaller pieces so that I can distribute them into these 5 groups I've created. So if we look here, the black ones are what I started with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my 62, my 2 ones. I divided 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And remember, now I have tenths. So this is where it gets a little bit harder to visualize, but we can see my 62 here because I have 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. And then my little tenths, here's 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4. So 4 times 5, that's 20 tenths, which would give me 2 more. So we were at 50, 60, and then these little tenths, if I add them all up, I would get 2 whole numbers. So my 62 is still here. It was just a lot of work to divide it up. Also notice I'm dealing with tenths now too. So my goal was to divide 62 into 5 groups, and in front of me I have 5 groups. And each group has a tenth, or tens, excuse me, 2 ones, so that would be a 2. And now I have to include decimals. And then I have 4 little tenths. So 62 divided into 5 groups, I can get 12.4 for a solution. Excuse me. Let's look at another one. Let's see how that shows up in our long division. I have 62, excuse me for a second. Sorry about the screen changes. Let's see how our long division compares to the visualization with the tens blocks. So 5 goes into 62. 5 into 6, I can get 1 group. And so I would subtract 5 from it. Now let's look at that. I was able to get 50 of my 62 taken care of in this first group. And there's 1 in the tens digit. So if I look back here, there's a 1 in my tens digit. And that took care of 50 or 5 of those groups. And so 6 minus 5, I still had 1 block left over. Drag down my 2. 5 goes into 12 twice. And I can subtract 10. And again, in my picture, 1, 2. So I have 2. That's where it was showing up on top in my ones digit. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is what I subtracted. And then we noticed I still have a 2 left over. So you actually have to draw in your decimal place. Notice that the decimal is at the end here because it comes after the ones digit. And we brought down a 0. So 5 into 20, 4 times. When I subtract that out, nothing is left. So we can see how we split this 20 that ended up happening was my 20 tenths that I created over here by breaking up my visuals. Hopefully seeing the comparison of the long division and the visuals, it's a little bit more like, okay, I can see why all this happens. Not that you're going to want to draw it out every time. I'm not sure how much time I have left, but we'll see how far I can get through this in my 5-minute break. So 86 divided by 4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my 80 is taken care of. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of my ones